Welcome back, guys. So in our previous video we have talked about redo log buffers and the database buffer cache for the system global area. Now we are going to talk about shared pool. Okay, so the shared pool is a key component of the system global area. We call it as SGA. So shared pool is the key component in the Oracle database. It's a shared memory structure that stores a variety of database objects and information used to optimize SQL execution and manage database operations efficiently. Okay, so the shared pool improves performance by reducing repetitive parsing, optimizing memory usage, and enabling fast retrieval of commonly used data. Okay, so when you query, in fact, when you do a query for the database, so it stores shared pool stores the uh, optimization, uh, the reducing repetitive parsing. Okay, so the parsing of the query will be saved here for a particular query. If you run that script again, so that will be this the earlier parsing which is saved here, parsing for the query with the query optimizer, that is saved here. So the next time when you try to fetch that query, that past query will be fetched from here and the results as well. Okay, so optimizing memory usage, so that's why it optimize memory usage. You need not to go to the memory uh, all the time. You can access this from shared pool, and by accessing shared pool the enabling will be fast. Okay, so how shared pool works? Okay, so SQL parsing works in we'll discuss in three steps. So first is SQL parsing and execution. So when SQL query is executed, Oracle first checks if its parse statement and execution plan exist in library cache of the shared pool. Okay, so it has, if that is here, so then it will be fetched from here. The parsing parsed query will be fetched from here and data will be retrieved. If found, it reuses the cache data, saving processing time. Okay, so if the query past query is saved here, it uses the saved cached data which is in the buffer pool and saving processing time. If not found, like if that query is cached, is not, the query is parsed, information is not in the shared pool, then it parses the SQL, generates an execution plan and stores in the library cache. So this is the library cache where the parsing of the query is saved. Efficient memory use. The shared pool uses LR, least recently used, which we were talked earlier as well in when we were discussing them in brief. So algorithm to manage memory, removing less frequently accessed objects when space is needed. So the which of uh, memory components, or which of the algorithms, these LRU algorithm to manage memory by removing less frequently accessed objects. So which objects are not accessed uh, frequently, those will be removed from here, and what are uh, those will be removed and based on the least recent, like which are least used by any query or any of the your execution plan. So those will be moved out of it. So concurrency and locking. The shared pool handles concurrent accesses by multiple sessions, ensuring data consistency and preventing conflicts. Okay, so the shared pool helps in um, more of the query execution and getting the data from the pool itself without going to the memory. So what's the components of shared pool? Library cache, which we discussed in here, so that we are going to discuss more. Stores past SQL statements, PL code, and execution plans. It facilitates SQL statements reuse, which avoids the overhead of repeated parsing and improved performance. Okay, so once when a SQL query is used uh, with the Oracle, or when you fetch the data from that, the same query will be reused if that's in the shared pool buffer. Okay, the parsed information will be saved in library cache, and then the Oracle will use the same uh, query which is passed from the library cache of the shared pool, and which avoids the overhead of again parsing the same query. So by that it improves the performance of the query execution, and the time will be less. Data dictionary cache, it stores the metadata over database subjects like table definition, user information, privileges. Okay, also called the row cache. It speeds up the access to the data dictionary by reducing physical reads. Okay, so the data dictionary cache stores the information about database data objects. Control structures, so it stores internal structures like logs, sequences, session information for database operation management. So these all things work as a whole to give information to shared pool. Library cache, data dictionary cache, control structure, and session shared information. So this includes session specific information such as cursor for user sessions and temporary storage. The control structure has the all the information about the logs, what a query will be using for its execution, if it required, if that's a right query, it requires some read logs, so those will be saved here in the control structure. So these all are saved in shared pool. Okay, so this is all about that uh, system global area, where we discussed all of these in brief. Maybe in later or some in some other video we'll be discussing all these things in detail. So in our next video we'll be discussing the background processes. What we have discussed earlier, those are the memory structure of the instance, okay, which are for the system global area. And for the memory structure there are background processes as well, which are running all the time, or maybe sometimes when they are required, but they are awake all the time, like when we start an instance, that these all will be instance started, and they do their work as the time required. Okay, so we discussed this shared pool where we discussed library cache, data dictionary cache. We also discussed database buffer cache, redo log buffer cache. Okay, so now we are going to discuss all these background process in our next video. Okay, so thank you, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.